And we're back at Daggertruss. So I've been looking around the fort and I've noticed a few things I would like to actually start working on. We have a lot of dwarves hanging out in the dining area. If we look at them listening to story, telling a story, listening. So they're just hanging out, relaxing. There's nothing wrong with that. There is there are tasks that need to be done. Dwarves have work that needs to be done. One thing I noticed after last time was I purchased a bunch of animals and really should get the birds, the turkeys in this case, producing eggs and the next generation of turkeys as soon as possible. So, towards that end, I will dig out a room or order a room to be dug out. Let's put it here for the turkeys, and we will have a lot of them at some point. Let's do 9 by 9. That should be dug out. The other thing we'll want to do is create some nest boxes, or at least one nest box because we have one uh, turkey that can lay eggs. So, carpenter, we won't build it there. We will build it in here. Rock nest. Maybe it's the crafts dwarf? It's the crafts dwarf workshop. Eventually I'll get it right. And if you ever can't remember which workshop, just go here. Rock nest box. There we go. They'll figure it out. So wherever the right shop is for the rock nest box, they'll start being made. We should also, because we're going to have our turkeys in here, build a door to contain the turkeys and keep the dwarves out of there. I prefer this to forbidding the eggs. If you are going to forbid the eggs, you have to know when the eggs are hatched and race the dwarves to forbid them before they pluck them. Or if you just throw the turkeys in the room, lock the door, eventually the turkeys will lay the eggs. Dwarves won't be able to pick them to gather the eggs, and they'll get to hatch, and you'll get notification when the eggs are hatched. So to me, it's just a easier system to do. So let's do a rock door and make sure it's made out of cinnabar, I guess. We are apparently very short on rocks. This is all metal, so metal ores, yeah. We need to start expanding our fort, digging, man, because we need more rocks, which means we're gonna have a cinnabar nest as well. All right. The other thing, other than starting the turkeys and apparently queuing up some digging, will be we should start on the above ground portion of the fort. The idea there being I don't want the dwarves to get cave adapted, or I want them to be able to fight cave adaptation. If they're above ground, they can more easily fight cave adaptation. I'll just select a whole bunch of trees, chop down. And if we look at the blocks we have 360 shale blocks. That's a lot of shale blocks. We can absolutely start building a above ground fort for them. Now, if we look, we have stairs here. Okay, So our general entrance is here, surrounded by traps. And if they go down the general entrance and then come back up, we can block this off, sealing it off. We'll never have to worry about invaders here. We're solid. Let's not touch this and just keep this as a back exit through the fort if we ever need, and not have to worry about invaders. Over here, we have our general stairs into the body of the fort, or the majority of the body. If we look at this, we can come straight up to the surface through here and expand it into the fort. So I would actually probably mark this. Let's go down, and we're going to turn this on blueprint mode. And you can't actually dig stairs up like it did, but I just want to know where those stairs will be. So I left it on blueprint mode, and this will help later on. And outside of that, we should start figuring out how we want the fort to look. I don't want to lay it out specifically now, tell the dwarves to run out here and start building walls as things are being chopped down. I don't want them to be hit by falling trees. So I'll leave that for a little bit. But in general, I want these stairs to come up to the fort, and I want the fort to come short of this entrance here, and probably short of this as well. So maybe extend the fort back this far. So I will cut some more trees over here so that we can extend it. The square fort's kind of generic, but maybe I'll do that anyway. But I just want to prepare an area for future fort expansion. You can see they're running up here to chop down trees. And we'll lay out some of those blocks, start using them. And because all the dwarves can build walls, everyone is just hanging out, listening to stories and telling stories. They'll actually have a little bit of work to do. Now, they're going to be running up to the surface, which they may not like. But these things can't be avoided, at least early on in the fort. The other thing that could be done, see, in sand, they can dig out this room very quickly. The other thing that could be done is coming down here and fixing the actual dining area. So, come over, construction, let's mark that. And as long as we do shale blocks, which for some reason it doesn't think that we have as much, because some of them have already been used in construction. So we only have 215 available to us, but that'll have to do. So that's the end. These rooms are symmetric. So if I look here, that's open. Shell block there. Shell block there. Shell block. Shell block. We want to leave them access to get back into these areas because there's valuable resources, but just start walling it off to make a consistent room for them. And you can see they all run to go grab some shale blocks and start building this wall. Well is filling. And these trees are being felled. Alright. We got a bunch of the trees along here. So let's work on... Let's let them cut down some more, because I don't want dwarves running across here, getting knocked out by pieces of wood. cloth, weather is cleared. Oh, nest box has been completed, door's been completed. Your animals. The other thing that should be done is make sure that these are all deconstructed so they will eventually be thrown back into the stockpile once there's room. And go assign the door, cinnabar door, and then there'll probably be a cinnabar nest box as well. Farm, not farm plot. Farming went too far. Nest box. Stick it at the far end, cinnabar nest box, of course, and create a pen pasture area right here. Let's keep them out of the doorway for the turkeys. Gobbler and hen. Yes. The other thing I just noticed is this does not have all the sheep in it. There's a ram wandering around. Don't want them starving. Should get them down here. And our diggers can actually start, miners can actually do another one of these. And for right now, we'll just probably fill that with pigs. So lots of activity for these dwarves to do. Brought the ram out here. How did I miss this tree, or did it just grow? Probably just grew. Okay, so expanding, making above ground fort. Let's, oh, I've got an idea. Construction. Let's just do straight fortifications right above here. And shale blocks, yep. So eventually I'll be able to stick archers here and they'll be able to hit things as they're trying to sneak into the fort. It can also give me a way to stick up a few animals here and they'll alert me of incoming dangers. Construction wall. And we will, let's go up 6 this direction, down 6 this direction. I'm just gonna square it off at this point. It's boring, we'll make it better, higher. Blocks, all. Will it let me do this? Probably would. Is that big enough for, yeah. Building present. Okay, won't let me do that because of the stockpile. That's fine. We can eliminate stockpile. Can we move diagonally? I think we can have diagonal. Ooh, that's no good. Construct walls. Yeah, they can move diagonally. You have to block off the diagonals. I sometimes forget mechanics. I want to play other games for a while. And construct wall. Shale blocks. So once they do that, there'll actually be no way into this area. So I want to grab an area, grab a wall, suspend construction. That'll allow them to move in and out of here until I build this area. Stairs up. So lots of activity now. Dwarves have tasks. And there'll be a fort which will center pretty nicely on the screen that we'll be able to see. Small fort, that's all I need. Keeping it relatively simple. And this will give them the ability to burn some of those shale blocks. As they get to the end here, and we have the second area dug, let's create another pen pasture. And just real quick, stick the pigs in it. Don't necessarily want pigs roaming around. They're fine. They don't need to graze, but they, like the turkeys, will generate these worms and slugs and stuff that they eat, and some of the dwarves will be put off by this. So we can see we've already collected 14 turkey eggs, so that's added to the food stockpile. That's fine. We won't collect the next batch, so they should be fertilized turkey eggs because we have both a hen and the gobbler. So she'll lay fertilized turkey eggs, sit on there, and eventually they'll hatch, and I'll be told all these turkeys hatched, and we can go in and start collecting stuff and add more nest boxes and really get turkey production started. Since it takes 2 years for the turkeys to actually grow, the sooner this gets started, the better. So I don't need them yet, but I need to get it started. And the pigs being in here, eventually we'll have a plethora of pigs to go and harvest from, and that will be good as well. Just need to, like I said, get that started. Okay, we can see they are building the fort pretty well. Our diggers are not currently active, miners, so let's activate them. They will dig straight down to this. We also will want to go and do construction, add stairs. We can do this up. Can't do this up yet because they haven't dug it, but eventually, once this is dug, we'll be able to construct stairs through here that will allow this path to continue all the way to the surface. Now, if I was smart, I probably would have moved this back one and put some traps right in front of this. So anyone who ran up here to try and shoot through these holes from the outside would spring traps and take damage or be caught in cages. But I don't need that. I think we'll be fine regardless. Let's do the construction, stairs. See if I have to. No, that just must span multiple elevations blocked at this location. So it's not letting me do this because these stairs are already here. So I actually have to dig this out. So what if dig that out, deconstruct those stairs. This should leave me with a hole right here. They'll be leaving, that's fine. Let's try this again. Construct stairs starting here up to there. It let me do it. Shale block. Alright, so it has the up-down stairs here, but here it just has the downstairs. So I'll need to fix that. Shale block. Up, down. We should be good. After they construct these, I'll take out the stairs on the other side. Now, the other thing this will do is now this stairwell is bathed in sunlight. So all the dwarves that take this stairwell will be fighting cave adaptation, which is good. Take out this one, okay. And once again, do the construction, stairs, shale blocks, all. And now that we have this area a second way in there, we can build the last bit of construction. And we have the first layer of the fort secured. Now, we need to produce there's a couple options. We could check, there is the potential to grow surface crops. I don't know that I want to. If we look up here, why is it not letting me do anything? Here we go. There's actually a fairly decent sized area without this rock stuff. It's blocked by some plants, which we can take out by putting roads down. So that's not a big deal. I could completely do that. I don't think I'm going to, though. Might pull the grazing animals into here. Actually, that is a good plan. So the bottom layer of the fort, you can either grow stuff here because you can plant stuff, although you can create fields, although you want to avoid these rock areas. Or you can bring your grazing animals in here and then they will be protected whenever there's an invasion. So let's grab this pen pasture. Let's repaint and expand it to this entire area, and then erase it from that area, and this area. I still have this stump. I still have this stump. I'm going to get rid of the stump. Okay. Now, all the animals, I believe, will self-migrate. Nope, dwarves have to go and yank them back to their correct area. That's fine. Dumping them here, the sheep can graze here and they'll be happy. Apparently the goats as well. I keep forgetting about the goat. Alright, pigs are an area. Turkeys are an area. I'm going to get rid of this meeting area. We have a training area, which we don't need right now. Pen pasture, this is where all the dogs are kept until we get more of them. Hopefully they'll be breeding. And we have a little swimming pool over here. Is this dead frog again? Yeah, toad. Okay. So next we need a second layer to the fort. If we look up here, there is no roof on the forts. We should put a roof on it, put a roof over these fortifications here. What I'm going to suggest is it be as close to this as we can get. In fact, I'm just going to continue straight up with these stairs. Then the dwarves will come up, they'll build the stairs, and we'll start the next part of this process. Can either, at this point, build everything out of shale blocks here to keep with the look, or we can start switching over to wood. And wood is more of a renewable resource. So I think I'm going to switch over to wood at this point. But I want to keep it semi-consistent. Let's keep a dark wood. So we're going to do birch. I think that will look good with the shale. All dark. Might be darker than the... We'll see. We'll see if we like birch. If we don't like birch, then we'll rip it down and put up something else. Birch looks good. It's a slightly different brown, but that's okay. So we need more birch trees cut. Luckily, there are these dark ones. Let's just go and order trees felled. The other thing we'll want to do is make sure that we consistently clear out trees that are right next to the fort. Eventually, we'll need to put a road or something around the fort to keep trees from growing here. But for right now, I'll just manually chop. Bring down all those trees as well. Let's look. Construction, floor. 40. I've got 3. All right. Might take a little while. You know, I'm not sure I'm liking this birch. It'll be fine. I like the darkness of it. Doesn't quite go with the shale, but they're dwarves. They won't care. It's looking good. All right. So slowly walling this in. This is going to take a lot of birch to finally enclose this. That's okay. The other thing we should start doing, can talk about continuing to build up fortifications. So we have, at this point, the second layer should go out one more area, should go out further than the first layer. The reason being, invaders can climb walls. Now, if they climb a wall and above them is a roof or another obstruction, they actually can't climb the wall because there's something above them. So we want our walls, or in this case, I'm going to do fortifications, out one more layer. And I'm going to come up a little short here intentionally. Let's do shale blocks. Let's go 3 short. Cancel these. Cancel construction. So we'll have fortifications built up here. The idea is eventually I'm going to have the archers walk the perimeter. And I want then fortifications for them to be able to look out. We can build a wall, shale block. I'm going to give them little towers, sort of, in the corners. Shale block. Shale blocks. And we'll see if I have some extra birch. Construct floors. I think we've got 4 birch logs now. Excellent. Alright, if I just do diagonals, that's not quite good looking enough. Let's go out one more. Well, no access. I have to wait for them to build this portion of the wall, or the floors. So go on and build that, dwarves. Take your time. There we go. Construct floor. Focus more on the perimeter as we go out. Birch logs, since kind of low on birch logs. Construction. Let's grab the fortifications. Just drag it. Get a bunch of dwarves working anyway. Shell blocks 82. 59. And then another layer of fortifications up top. And they can apparently connect this diagonally. Everything is fine. So we'll let them do that. All right, construction here. Let's do fortification for the tunnel, or the tower, I should say. Then do I want to bring it down? It's tough. If I bring it out here, 3, bring it out here, 3, I could do that. This could work. Keep forgetting they actually can get through diagonals. So let's build floor. Oh, this is annoying. All right, so if I build a floor, no, I can do this. We're gonna make it out of willow, and we're gonna make it out of willow here. The reason being, these are going to be temporary. Construct fortification. Doing this whole thing without a plan, in case you couldn't tell. Construct wall. Block. This is going to be the diagonal fill area. We will deconstruct then the willow floor. Tell them to pull that up. Did this a little early. Don't pull that up yet. Build the wall first. And then I can tell them to construct the fortification where that was. I'll just do square tiles. Square towers. It's easier. And deconstruct this. If I'm doing that, I can probably lay out the rest of the floor. Here, we want birch. And another birch. Once I have the design that I want to use, the rest of these will be much quicker. I could knock the corner off, but that's a whole lot more work. And I don't think there's enough benefit to it. It's not going to look that much better. Square is fine. Do another shell block there. Need a temporary floor here for the dwarves to stand on as they construct the wall in the corner. Even though really they don't stand there. They will not construct that wall without that floor there. It's kind of annoying. And, or at least this has been my experience. Someone can tell me if I'm wrong, but this is how I found to get around that. Okay. The base of this tower is built. If we look, any invaders coming in directly above them, they can't climb. They will be stopped by this. So we just need to continue the expansion. And I actually think if I grab this and drag it out to here, they will wall over 16. Yeah, they'll wall over the top of that. Which means I don't want to do that just yet because I don't have enough birch. But eventually I can cover over these paths of the walls beneath them and make the floor consistent. Don't want to do that. Don't have enough birch yet. Trying to remember what I selected for my cages down here. Hazel, good. Different wood material. Oh, this is gonna be nice. Building out the defenses, be able to protect the area. Once, we start getting some dwarves that can shoot. Shell block for the wall. And we are burning through shale block. So if I were really thinking ahead, I would make sure I have enough to actually block off anyone climbing over, just in case we get an invasion. So probably that'll be the next task I work on. What I should do right now is tell my miners, get to work digging out this hall. We can dig down. It's going to give us some material, not the material we necessarily need, but some material. My halls are apparently 4 wide. Let's keep that. Dig out some rooms. Keep digging out rooms. We will need them. Oh, I misplaced this hall. Good to know. Let's erase then that. I think I can keep that room actually in the same place though. Nice. I want to pack these rooms as close together as I can so the dwarves don't have to run that far to run to their room or back to the rest of the fort. Now, really, I could be doing this over multiple levels. It would help, but for right now, a room level will have to do. Come on. some of this isn't going to get me usable rock. In fact, a lot of it won't, because it's going to be providing uh, smeltable materials. But it is what it is. Okay, this entire path I think I'm going to try and reclaim at some point. So let's dig over here, the furthest point, and dig out this tunnel. I am going to end up putting rooms along here too. Yeah, this is good. Lots of stuff for my miners to do. We're starting to get shale blocks again. Resume construction. Don't know why they paused that. Don't pause that. Weather's cleared. They need plant cloths. Yes and no. Our well is nearly filled. Let's start at the bottom. Tell them, get on that task. Wherever those tasks are, do it. Finally cleared up those blocks, which allowed them to pull the cages back over here. We have some mechanisms. Apparently, we can continue laying out the traps. I should have checked. I don't think we've got any masterwork. Continue the traps. Continue cloth making. Digging. Dwarves are all being productive. Ooh, sand. That's odd. Oh, I guess maybe it's not. Okay. So over here, the ground is lower. So yeah, we're hitting sand at this point. I really hadn't thought about that. Now, are we still... Okay, there's still this layer before they get to that. So even if we cut trees over here, it won't rip holes into the fortress. Always need to watch that. Do we have the birch wood? Let's make sure we're chopping down birch trees. Chop down all the trees. Chop them all down. We'll see what the dwarves, or what the elves say later. Get all those birch trees. We should do. Okay. The flooring there provides the protection that we need. So we can go and stick more birch. 2 birch. Alright, we gotta wait. Gotta wait. Do a little bit. Two birch there. And I could use other woods temporarily to block this off, but there should be more birch coming soon. So not too worried about that. Would be nice to be protected against invasion. I really want to be protected against invasion. I don't think we have enough wealth to be invaded. And it would still rely on someone climbing as part of the invasion. There's other ways to actually do it, so I'll not worry about it too much right now. Can't believe this tree grew up right here. This should be, yep, those are more birch logs. This should be enough to seal up the area. And actually start expanding it. Oh, look at all those birch logs. Okay. Whew. Once these floors are down, we are actually clear and protected. This little corner. Actually, I don't think this corner's probably fine. I don't think they can climb up on a corner. I think they have to be adjacent, but still, I feel a little bit better right now. Birch logs, birch log, birch floors are down. Perfect. Ah, so they were unable to actually build here because there's no flooring. There's no flooring because fortification doesn't have flooring at that layer. So my second layer is actually going to be somewhat problematic in that I'm going to have to put floors over all of it. So let's come down here and throw down the birch logs. Start trying to floor in this. 34. 4's not enough. Once this birch flooring goes down, I believe this construction will start and they'll seal this up, which we need once again. I think they might not be able to climb this wall because it's over a pit, but let's just be sure. I'd rather be sure that we're all secure than not. Fortification. Shale blocks there. Shale blocks there. And might as well get the towers started. Shale blocks. And then the trick of putting down some temporary floors. Make it obnoxious that this is definitely not the right floor. So I can put the things in the corner I'd like. I'll queue up all these tasks at once so I can go through and deconstruct all the fake flooring at once. What is going on? Why is this here? Alright, now we're protected. Still have a problem with flying enemies. Hopefully won't have many flying enemies just yet. Although I could enrage some of the wildlife. Flyman, where's he? He is flying. Perfect. It's not really an enemy until he becomes enraged. Let's continue my war against trees. their war against trees. It's not just me. Dwarves don't like trees either. What are you doing outside? Oh, you make sense because you're cutting stuff. I guess everyone else needs to go and get birch, huh? What I could do, add a stockpile right here temporarily. Go and find wood. Birches? Fine. And as they fill that up with birch, I'll have an idea of how much I can actually expand. Okay, looks like they put down all those temporary floorings. Shell block, shell block. So we can put our walls in the corners. And we can see we started to get some more shale, some more bauxite, some more cinnabar. So the mining I had the dwarves do was actually somewhat useful. And going forward, having the extra rooms will be nice. Can't deconstruct the floors yet. They actually have to build. So here they did it. You can deconstruct the floors all at once. I believe that's the miner's task. And this is just reclaiming the wood. There's nothing stopping me from putting fortifications right on top of these. It's just a waste of wood. And I need wood for burning. I can't be wasting it. Burning and my floors. Construction, fortification. Obviously, we're going to need more shale blocks. So I'm going to turn that back on. At some point, maybe now. Oh wow, look at all the gems they gotta cut. Hmm. Oh, he's continuously making shale blocks. Okay. What is in all these? Copper. More copper, copper, copper. Lots of copper. What? The cage has prickleberry seeds. Must have had animals that got fed in there. Okay. And they just never cleared the seeds out. What's this? An empty barrel with copper. Perfect. Could consolidate that. Not gonna worry about it. Man, no, I probably should. Well, that'll be a task for next time. At this point, I was really hoping the turkey would be sitting on the nest box by now. At this point, we have the beginnings of the fortress. We have beginnings of the tower. What happened to you? They didn't like caught in the rain. Must be raining out. They don't like that. Unfortunately, it is what it is. The dwarves, they've got work to do. So we got the beginnings of the fort. We have now our grazers pulled into the bottom layer of the fort, which is useful. We have the turkeys sectioned off. We have the pigs collected and apparently meandering about. I need to build a door for them. Make a rock door. Again, we just need the one. Don't want to overbuild too much. Bauxite is fine. So we'll put a door here and then lock it to keep the pigs in there. They don't need to be meandering. All the dwarves, you'll notice, are running around and they all have the little hoods on. They have their hood, their robe. Their starting equipment is mostly okay. Look, that one even has some jewelry. Yeah, that's nice. Dwarves should be getting happier as they're able to acquire things and dress up. Yeah, look at all these guys all wearing their little hoods. The well is filled at this point, which is nice. We are in a much better state than we were at the beginning of this. Much more defensible, at least for our grazers. Still have we have probably more of a weakness at this point to air attack because they can fly straight down through our fort. Where before we could have sealed this off, and if we turned on the routing here, we would have forced them all to would force any invaders through the trap path, including flying ones, which can activate traps. So we're a little bit less defensible against flying enemies. We'll have to work on that next time or at a later date. I really want to finish the fortifications soon. So that will be probably, or the fort soon. So that'll probably be the task. Continuing cutting down all the birch trees. Maybe I'll just have all the lumber, all the wood chopped down. And then we can pull all the birch we possibly can to here and try and roof this in and maybe put hatches here to cover it up. But we are looking pretty good. An actual fort. So, all right. Ooh, low on drinks, but I'll deal with that next time. I hope your fort goes better than mine. See you next time.